Leaders coming into the weekend, the Castleford Tigers. They trail though at half-time, 18-12 to the Catalan Dragons. Duro has run the show.
Okay, we're ready.
It's Castleford who will get the second half underway. And here we go, an important 40 minutes for the Tigers if they are to be taken as serious contenders for those playoffs. They have to see off teams like Catalan Dragons at home, but the Catalan Dragons themselves are taking aim on the top 8. If they win, they could sneak into the top 8 ahead of tomorrow's fixtures.
Well, they admit to having a very, very slow start to this season. That's a penalty.
They get the first penalty. Fakir is robbed by 2 men in the tackle.
I think you'll find it was Stuart Jones that finally comes up with it. Yep. One down, and Jones.
Aspinwall was the other man in. There's Trent Robinson, the third coach of the Catalan Dragons in Perpignan in the wake of Mick Potter and Kevin Walters. They appeared in the Cup at Wembley in 2007. They finished third in the table 2008. They got to within 80 minutes of Old Trafford in 2009. Cup semi-final in 2010. Trent Robinson is a man who has, well, plenty of potential to work on down there.
What about David Waite, who started the whole thing? Wasn't it he the coach of the Dragons when they won the first game against Wigan? Temporary coach, wasn't he? He then brought in Mick Potter.
We don't deal in temporary coaches.
Well, it was the start of the Catalan Dragons.
We don't deal in temporary
Give David
coaches.
Waite some credit.
Oh, we give him plenty of credit. He was the Great Britain coach at one stage, wasn't he? Put a lot of good things in place in this country. Here's Duro again, short ball, Sarr! Now then, Henderson, Duro to the in-goal area, and again,
nearly, Blanche just could not get to it.
Youngquist just rolled it over the line, and Blanche was hunting, wasn't he?
Well, at the start of the game, they put a lot of pressure on Nick Youngquist, and he was a bit shaky, and they're doing exactly the same thing in the second stanza.
Let's get down to Bill.
Well, this is exactly what Trent Robinson wanted, Eddie. He wanted them to start the second half exactly the way they started the game, and that was really ripping into the Castleford Tigers. That penalty certainly helped. This goal line dropout will help, but happy with what they did in the first half. In places, dissatisfied with the way they dropped off and let the Tigers back in, and it was a fairly frosty dressing room for the Tigers. Terry Madison not impressed, despite the fact the way the side got back and went in front. In fact, there were too many mistakes for his liking, and discipline not up to the standard that he's hoping for. Looking for improvement.
Well, that was a poor pass from Jamal Fakir, watched by the Castleford coach. He would be glad about that. It was.
It's always a risk when you do that. When you do that short, flat pass there. Really, a lot of coaches they just say, "Look, you're big enough, you're strong enough, and take it up." What's the point of just offloading when you meet the defence? I think both coaches, Terry Madison and Trent Robinson, both realise that field position will make you win this game tonight, because they're conceding tries, and that is going to be a penalty.
It is. Henderson stripping the ball away after the tackle was completed. It's a bit of an untidy start to this second half.
I'm not so sure on that occasion, you know. I think that he lost it.
You know, Eddie, untidy is the exact word. I was just going to say sloppy. They want to go and start this game strong. That's a sloppy start to the game.
Just thinking back to that first night, Phil, in Perpignan, Jamal Fakir, who came up with that error there. He scored a try against Wigan, against Ian Millwood's Wigan, as I remember rightly. I wouldn't say it was David Waite, though. I don't think even he would say he was coach that night. Pops the ball up, Rangi Chase. The runner is Darrell Clark.
Line and hold on 3.
No, it isn't. It's Craig Hubie. Bit different. Oh, flicks the pass. Fozzard.
Hubie's winding up.
There's Clark. There's Rangi Chase. Hand in the face of an opponent. Dabs the ball to the in-goal area. Stakul with work to do. Stakul diffuses the problem. But it's a goal line dropout.
Good work by the winger. Stakul had to be there. You could see the fullback, Richie Mathers, was chasing through. It was a beautiful placed kick.
Just not clicking for Castleford at the moment. I watched Rangi Chase run down a blind alley that time with Danny Orr screaming for the ball on the right-hand side. A little bit possibly of a lack of communication, and Castleford will want to get that sorted out pretty quickly.
Duro then with a goal line dropout. Good length.
Boy, that's a beauty. Oh, it just didn't hit the bounce, did it? Came back to him. All fumbles. Awkward for Richie Mathers. They've got the chase up. That's good defence.
That goal line dropout there, interesting. It's a little talking point, this, because in Australia, and why the game is played under different rules and interpretations on the other side of the world, I don't know. But in Australia, they have decided, the rule makers there, that would be a penalty. You have to drop the ball out from underneath their own posts, behind or on the line.
Yeah, it's just like you should play the ball with your foot. You should strike it all the time. It's all down to interpretation. But I'm with you, Eddie. We should have international rules. We should play exactly the same way, both here and down under.
I think that, Eddie, is just an effort to tidy up the game a little. It's like scrums, like Steve says, playing the ball.
Yes, it's fiddling, isn't it? It's fiddling and
but there's nothing wrong with that, just tidying it up a little.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it so long as we all play the same. And we don't.
Agreed.
And when we get to internationals, it's another rule, and then the corner posts are taken out of it as far as they're concerned. We've got 2 refs in Australia. You know, it doesn't sit well with me.
He's knocked on.
Oh. I can't believe it. And they're celebrating Catalan Dragons.
A golden opportunity as well. Fozzard wanted to get on with it, and he's lost it. There's no doubt about it. There's no arm there.
He got a knee in the side of the head.
Well, that's his first error, because he really has changed the complexion of the first half when he came off the bench. Nick Fozzard. Strong runs into the defence have lifted them, but that error will be costly.
I hear a lot of coaches talking about building pressure on their opponent's line and winning some field position. But both of these sides have had a goal line dropout, Eddie, to start the second half, and neither of them have scored from it. So I don't know whether perhaps that's a myth, and maybe it's about taking your chances when they're up for grabs.
Let's get down to Bill news from Catalan Dragons camp.
Yeah, it's bad news for the Dragons. Lapini Paya, who started off like a house on fire tonight and was part of the reason they started so strongly, has got a bad foot injury. He's iced up at the moment, and it's very unlikely that he'll be able to return. So that is a blow for Trent Robinson's side.
It is indeed, because he showed up very well early on, didn't he? As is this fellow all night, but that's good defence from Ferris. Dribbling the old man out on the far side. There is Lapini Paya. Ice on the ankle and on the foot.
That's a side, but Ferris did exceptionally well here. Kept him going, and even all the experience of Steve Menzies could not prevent that. Just nods to his teammates and...
Ready, boys?
That is great defence. That is great defence. Keep his legs going.
When you're playing the ball. Yeah,
Brett Ferris.
Come on.
Debut 6 years ago exactly for the Bradford Bulls against Hull.
Move!
Right, 7 minutes into this second half. Both sides have sounded each other out.
Stand. Go to.
Let's see what Castleford can do here with this.
That's a good run, you know, punching a hole through the opposition's defensive line. Jake Emmett there, okay, the play the ball wasn't that quick, but tucking your nose through, and here's Rangi Chase now.
Move!
Well, he tried to milk the penalty, but it would have been far better to get up and play the ball quickly and try to catch this Catalan defence out.
Here's Emmett again. Last tackle it is, though, for the Tigers. Chase from the outside of the boot, bobbling all over the place. Oh! Well, he got away with it, Damien Blanche.
Well, that's a type of kick that can create all sorts of problems.
And it has, look at this.
If it bounces, it could go anywhere, and Blanche was exceptionally lucky there.
What's so difficult about that, Steve, is that you're waiting for it to bounce up, and bounce up, and bounce up, and it's staying low on the ground. They're very, very difficult kicks. I should know, I fumbled plenty of them.
Well, he came to the rescue eventually, did Damien Blanche. He's had a fine game, but he realises that he should have scored a simple try.
No hands in there.
Just lost control with the try line begging.
Hubie picks up steam, gets the pass out wide. This is a great run, and Mathers is in support.
Move!
The run came from Youngquest.
Hubie.
Here is Emmett.
2, move!
Goes down, tackle number 2, but they're just 5 metres away from the line with Rangi Chase. Pops the ball up here for the number 20, Martin Aspinwall. He gives it back to Chase, Chase to Withers. They're going wide with Hubie. Drop the shoulder, ball back on the inside, out the back door, and Withers picks it up.
Withers has held on to it.
And I think that's offside. Weren't standing square at the play of the ball.
Stay back. Wait.
Withers again, winding himself up for a run. Gets the ball away to the youngster Clark. Little hop, skip and a jump in front of the defenders. Clark.
Great step.
Great step, great talent. He's only 17 years of age. Can you believe it? And here is Danny Orr, little older than that. Looping pass finds Stuart Jones.
It would have been a very quick pass that had got the overlap on this right-hand side.
Goal 2.
Danny Orr again. Mathers, long pass out wide. Kirk Dixon will score in the corner. Dixon burrowing his way over. And I think that makes him 600 career points. Kirk Dixon. More importantly, it is the try that gets Castleford up and running at the start of this second half. Ex-Hull in 2004, had 3 years there, then he came to Castleford, and 600 career points has just been notched up.
Well, the previous looping pass allowed Catalan to get themselves into a good position. This is the penalty that was given, gave them the opportunity. But on the second occasion, watch the fullback come through, misses a man out, the winger comes in, there's nothing they can do about it. That is a very well-worked move. Richie Mathers coming in, chiming through, dummy runners out, wingers gone, Dixon scores. Fantastic. Nothing that Millard could do about it.
Well, Dixon scored the try. He's left himself with the devil's own job of a conversion, though. It's about half a metre in from touch on this near side. He hasn't missed one yet. He's got to give it a right thump. 44 metres away from the post, only 4 degrees in which to thread it through like the eye of a needle. And he's missed it. He's pulled it in front of the posts. 18-16, Catalan Dragons still ahead, but Dixon's try.
And again, nervous times for both coaches because they know that they're being breached. Both sides have got the ability to break them down, but this was a nice finish as well.
Okay, fellas.
An interesting change there by Trent Robinson. He's brought Tony Guijo on, number 14 in the white shirt. Traditionally he plays a stand-off, but I think we're going to see him operating as a hooker here. He is a talented player, only 20 years of age, Eddie. A ball player, a creator of opportunities for players around him, and they are an endangered species in this game. It's quite easy to play second row or centre, get yourself fit and strong and do the hard yards, but to create play for other players around you is a difficult thing and a fragile thing to have a young player in that role.
He nearly got that away from Rangi Chase. Gigot then.
3, move! Hold,
helped out by Thierry.
And another good offload by Craig Hubie. You know, that try was created by that run by Hubie right on that left-hand side, got them into the opposition half.
Ooh, that's a big hit. That was a big hit on Brett Ferris. He felt that.
Goal. Brett, leave it out.
Chase again with the kick over the top. Stackle, though, well positioned.
Great chase, though. Look at them. They got the numbers, so that's good work.
Here is Millard. Dixon gets to him eventually.
Move! Go. Okay.
Set him out to Sarr. Clint Greenshields.
You know, I think there might be a problem with Daryl Millard. When he took that ball, he really didn't get into top pace at all.
I think he was scared, Steve. If he tried to take him on the outside, he was every chance of getting pushed into touch. So I think he's tempered his pace and pulled the run back in. It was a smart move, smart play by Millard.
A good run from Casti just then that got Damien Blanche into this position. Here is Gigot. That's the last tackle for the Dragons. 32, 33 metres away, centre field. Duro again. Testing little kick, teasing little kick. The ball is knocked back, play on with Muniz still on the last tackle.
Oh, Benson of all people. It was dipping, he raises the arm, he knows. Well, it was Blanche in the first half. Should have gone over and scored. And on this occasion, it's the experienced Steve Menzies. As I say, it was dipping, but 99 times out of 100 he would have picked that up. Not on this occasion. That could prove costly.
Mathers gets the ball away. It's Youngquest. Well, the Catalan defensive line's like a dog's hind leg. That should have been a penalty.
Definitely a penalty. He made no effort to get back. Releasing quickly, otherwise they will award the penalty.
It's a very skinny 10 that Phil Bentham's keeping. Clark, though, on the charge.
Great work. Fantastic. What they need now is a quick play of the ball, but it's been held down. It's got to be, but get the card out. Come on.
I think he's dropped the ball.
Satimatisar didn't know that.
No, you're right, but I have a feeling he's dropped this ball on the tackle.
Couldn't see from that.
Move!
It's a chance for Castleford. It's Darryl Clark. And Rangi Chase running straight and all the way. Wonderful try from Rangi Chase. Well, the man who played for the New Zealand Maori against England last October, the Super League Player of the Month for February. He only missed 2 last year. He got 6 tries last year, including 1 against the Catalan Dragons in Perpignan, and that's his 2nd try of 2011. It's not in Perpignan, it's here at the Coliseum, but also against the Dragons.
Great run there from Darryl Clark, puts them into position. They come up with a penalty. Phil Bentham says he was held down, and from that, and this man can do it to you. He's got all the skill in the world. He comes from the blind side, throws the dummy. You can see the dummy runner, he utilizes it to perfection and gets the admiration of the crowd. Such a quality player, Rangi Chase.
Castleford have been doing that exact same play for the last few years under Terry Matteson, but I haven't seen them do it with that sort of pace. The players running as though they were so intent on getting possession, Eddie. It was the execution of the play that made it so dangerous.
Dixon adds the extras. The Tigers hit the front, 22-18. Are we seeing yet another solid second half from the Tigers?
Well, this is the incident.
Maybe he did lose it.
Well, no, the hand was pulled away from the ball, and then he had a second go. I think the officials got it right.
I'm not so sure. I mean, you can grab arms, you just can't have your hands on the ball.
Academic now. But they're running with a bit of vim and vigour, the Castleford Tigers. That was Emmett. Here's Hubie.
What a big game this kid's had.
Well,
you fear they're going to give away a penalty, don't you? You just got that feeling with Catalan Dragons. If they can keep disciplined, they got a chance in this game.
Well, it's their style, and they try to slowly play the ball down. That's a good kick as well.
Just look at Stuart Jones, Oliver Holmes.
Early on the 3rd tackle.
Great job. And a high shot from Stuart Jones just negates all that wonderful work.
You need to know when to make your maximum efforts in rugby league. Cass made it then. Unfortunately, they've undone the good work with the high tackle. But it was a maximum effort. The players sprinting as if it was a 100-metre race. The first one there, Oliver Holmes, Stuart Jones.
And that comes about by wonderful communication. Because you know when the kick, you know that you're going to kick on that 3rd. But this is a real let-off for the French outfit.
It is. That's a relieving penalty for them. And this is Sebastian Ragan, who gets to his feet, plays it to Gigot. It goes infield then to Remy Casti.
They know if they get anywhere near the Castleford line that they have the ability to score, especially with the performance of Scott Deroux.
3, move, hold, go.
Gigot gives it to Satimatisar.
4,
Such a big man, Satimatisar. Daryl Millard is the dummy half this time. Gives it to Cyril Stakoul.
5.
That's the last tackle. 15 metres away from the line. What have they got in the locker here? Is Deroux with the kick again. Outside of the boot, looking for that man out there who was, of course, Blanche, but it's Youngquist who's picked it up. And is Youngquist going 90 metres to score? Yes, he is. Nick Youngquist maintains this record of a try in every game. Deroux's kick was aimed for Blanche. This time it was Youngquist who rose above him. And he saw that there was nobody at home, and he has the pace, this guy. From the Crusaders, of course, signed on a 2-year deal. And Nick Youngquest is certainly stamping his mark on Super League 16. Try number 5.
Well, they thought that it's going to be a weak link. They've been doing this all night at the Catalan Dragons. And this man says, yeah, OK, you said that I'm not capable. You said I couldn't take the high ball. He was a bit shaky in the first half, but this is how to answer your critics. This is the way to do it. He looked at them and said, yeah, it's me. The man they applied the pressure, the man they said couldn't do it, takes it superbly. What about the step off the left foot? Off he goes. He's in top gear. They're going bananas here. Fantastic.
Wonderful try from Nick Youngquest. 3 tries in 8 minutes for Castleford has turned this game around. It's on its head, and Dixon adds the extras. 28-18 to the Tigers.
As an attacking team, Eddie, when you put a kick like that in, and if it's caught cleanly by the defensive side and they make a break, you can be very, very vulnerable. Your fullback will generally be up in the line. What you would hope for is that your kicker sweeps behind. Scott Giroud did that time and made a poor effort of a tackle, or else that your open side winger, the left side winger in this instance for the Catalan Dragons, you would hope for a better effort from him to cover across that fullback position.
Emmett will run it back again with vim and vigour.
Brian, you know, you've gone through it, we've all gone through it, mistakes early in a game, your nerves are shattered, but something like that just lifts you so far and you say, I'm in the big time.
Well, that's it. I think you guys picked it about 10 minutes previous. There was a step up in gear from Castleford Tigers, and they're reaping the benefits from it now.
Yes, the Dragons starting to drop off a couple of tackles. They can't touch him. They could not touch Darrell Clark then, or at least David Ferriol couldn't because he wasn't standing square. This is the last tackle here for Castleford. Danny Orr will drift the kick in between the fullback and the winger. It's a great kick. It's a wonderful kick. The chase isn't bad either. Danny Orr leading the way. Well, I said at the start of the match, he's rolling back the years, this fellow. He seems to be reveling in his comeback to the Castleford Tigers this year.
And he's leading by example. Okay, he hasn't got the speed that he had several years ago, and the little dummy that can close him down, but he's still got that kicking game. He's still got the ability. That was fine. Thought it was an obstruction, but the big fella, Ferriol, was just at the side of him. And they've got to test their arm now.
Compared to Menzies, who just passed the ball wide to Ben Farah. Danny Orr is a youngster. He's only 32. Duro again with the kick. Bit too far though. Dixon picks it up. Chase wasn't bad, to be fair to the Catalan Dragons.
The Tigers
have too much length on it, the kick though.
The Tigers are going to be careful now. They've just got to settle things down. Don't get too excited. They can control this game now. They've already shown that with a man that's jumped to the dummy half. Danny Orr, he'll say, let's go down the middle. Then he'll utilise the kick.
You're right about Danny Orr, Steve. Even if the legs go, he's still got the head and he's still got the heart of a rugby league player. That'll carry him through. Same with Steve Menzies. No matter how, if he slows down, he's still got that head, he's still got that experience. That won't leave him.
Fozzard. That's the last tackle. They're still inside their own half. So again, it's with Orr with the kick. Oh, that's ricocheted off the back of Seta Matasar. It wasn't played at that. Or was it played at? Is the referee saying it was played at? He is, you know. He's given head and feed.
Well, I think he's just turned his back. I wouldn't call that.
I think that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, I mean, Setimata Sarr, what could he do with this? He just turned his back.
Well,
that's not, to me, being played at.
I think the referee said, well, you were chasing him down, and...
You know what? Recognition of the ball and the kick, you're going to get done for playing at that. Whether or not you jump up and turn your back,
Scott Giroud is querying it with the ref.
You'll still be classed if I haven't played at the ball.
His arms weren't up, though. He just turned his back in self-preservation.
I mean, you could charge the ball down with any part of your body, really. You know, it doesn't have to be your arms. You could jump up, turn your back into a player.
Well, that's the way Phil Bentham's read it. Hence the reason why Castleford have another set of 6 here. That was a Rundle. And that's Adam Milner back out there, isn't it? Yes, it is. Darryl Clark was dummy half. Rangi Chase, oh, he's escaped the net again.
Eddie, the Tigers can smell Dragons' blood, but can they get the kill here? They need one more score here to take some pressure off themselves and probably demoralise their opponents.
Another good run from Dean Widders. Rangi Chase showed it to Emmett. The pass hit the ground. Richie Mathers waited. Millard got to him.
Move! Back up, Dragons, back up!
Now then, is it going to be another kick from Orr?
It's got to be. Just put the pressure.
It's a great kick.
Tremendous stuff.
Stackpool has to run this ball back. Castleford will hunt the mistake.
Hold! Go!
Scott Durow again, the dummy half.
Concentrate now. That's what the Tigers will be saying. Don't jump out in front of the referee. Do not allow the French outfit to get a penalty and get 30, 40 metres downfield. They've got them on the rack. The Tigers know it.
He's given away the penalty.
Another go at it.
Right back through the ruck.
Well, it's a good job they don't have an iron bar out there, because I'll tell you something. Nick Fozzard would have smashed it out of his head and said, I know what my coach is going to tell me at the end of this game. But he's had a wow of a match as well. Came off the bench when they're looking a little bit sluggish. And his powerful runs along with the other prop forward, Craig Hubie.
Greenshield's feeling the pinch here. He's missed the last three. He's got a touch of cramp there.
Not surprised that he's had plenty of work to do tonight.
Wait for his foot, wait for it. Go.
Henderson gives it to Fakir. Solid run from him now.
Move!
He went straight into the body then of Oliver Holmes. Here's Henderson. Ooh, he could have got that ball away to Millard. There was trouble for Castleford. Millard's a dummy half. Here is Ferriol. Ferriol to Durow again. Long pass hits the ground. It's picked up though on that far side by Farah. And Farah jinking run. Lateral though. Then he gives it to Setimat to sign the pressure. He knocked on. And Danny Orr's hacked it forward. And again, Danny Orr, the legs. Has he got them? No, he hasn't.
He headed it. He let it bounce twice, and he is completely out.
He's exhausted, Daniel.
No, yeah,
Sebastian Ravine almost knocked him out, I think.
Did he get a bang
It's not
as well?
exhaustion, he got a bang then. I think the knee to the head.
One! Move!
Well, he certainly had contact with the ball with his head as well, so that would not have helped. He's still receiving treatment in back play.
Good contest this, though, isn't it?
Wait, back up.
Bang,
Go,
hit the head.
Bang.
Yeah, it was the thigh. I think it was a combination of the smack with the thigh and running out of oxygen.
Henderson gives it to Setimat Sarr. Doesn't make the same mistake this time. Good tackle low down, though, by Oliver Holmes. Here is Scott Durow. Pops the ball up to Menzies! Menzies! Oh! So close! Stretched the arm out and just held back at the last moment. Greenshields to Durow, slides the kick in, grounded in goal by Youngquest.
Well, for all the world, it looked as though Steve Menzies was going to drag the Catalan side back into this match. What a tackle by the youngster Darryl Clark.
Try saver from Darryl Clark.
Look at this. I mean, he's been magnificent this second half as a youngster. His runs from dummy half and his defensive work on this occasion. And the little kick through. They're out on their feet, both sides.
They're rockstar diamonds, Catalan Dragons, for me. They're rockstar diamonds. That's a wonderful piece of play. Not just great play and a great break by Steve Menzies, but Scott Durow's put a wonderful kick on the end of that set. Yet we've seen the other side of their game tonight, and it's terrible, but parts like that they're a joy to watch.
Well, Danny Orr's okay. Steve Menzies on his feet. He's got 20 years on Darryl Clark, and Phil mentioned earlier in the piece that he wasn't even born when Menzies made his debut. Darryl Clark.
One, move! Hold,
Say that about all the players about you, Eddie.
I've never made my debut. This is a penalty now for the Dragons, which they want to get on with. Suddenly the pendulum has swung the Dragons' way, hasn't it?
And there's still plenty of time. It's not into the panic area at the moment.
Well, this game isn't over yet. Durow pops it up, Fakir. Solid run again from the big fellow. 13 minutes to go, 10 points the difference.
Got to run the angles.
Good drive in by Gregory Muniz. Henderson again, back it comes to Setimata Sarr. Oh, he's looking for someone, there's nobody there. They all overran him.
Someone should have been coming back on that second phase. They just lost the way there.
Duro again, short ball, Fakir. Didn't get up the head of steam that he normally does.
Henderson on his own, will he go?
Gets the ball away, Muniz! Last tackle, they're camped underneath the Tigers' posts here. Setimata Sarr slides the kick in, and Mathers taps it dead. Goal line dropout again.
Good option by Setimata Sarr. That would have pleased Trent Robinson. Scoreline won't, but good work by Richard Mathers. It's all about getting yourself in the position. You couldn't do any better than that.
Good game though, eh?
It is, it's seesaw really. I'd like to see Catalan come away with some points. I've had a bit of time down here. I think for the contest, I think we'd all like to see them score some points here.
Well, I think as the seconds tick away, they've got to look for the little half-back Scott Duro to come up with something, because the Tigers' defence has been pretty solid, getting back in numbers.
This is enormous pressure on their line though, isn't it? Menzies. Crowd appeal for a forward pass. Referee and touch judge see things differently, as you'd expect. Henderson controlling things. Duro, short ball, Muniz. Danny Orr screaming at the Castleford Tigers defenders to come out on the right-hand side.
Go line, lads. On the line, on forward, go.
And Henderson!
Can't get it down. Great work.
Oh, he's nearly got it down.
Held up.
Oh, the referee bang on the spot then.
I think he finds it's Oliver Holmes that grabs hold of the arm. Milner's in there. Oh, that's good work.
So, last tackle from 10 metres out. Greenshield's dumped down. It's still play on. It's still play. No, it's picked up. And here goes Arundel. And Joe Arundel, look at the speed of him. Blanche is after him. Arundel's over under the sticks. Arundel for Castleford. Two long-range tries have broken the Dragons' hearts. First from Youngquest, then from young Joe Arundel. 9 appearances last year, that's all for Joe Arundel. He signed a 2-year deal the day that Michael Shenton announced he was off to St Helens. And this is the kid that they brought in to replace Michael Shenton. And on the evidence of what we've seen so far this year, they've lost nothing.
And again, they're trying to squeeze it into the corner. It bounces all over the place. And Arundel gets the trundle. He's on, he knows he's going. See how he just moved away from the defence. That was smart. Nothing that Damien Blanche could do about it. He knows it's try time, he knows it's glory, and he knows it's WIN. It's a win for the Tigers. What a great second half.
Steve-O proving he can spell other words other than TRY.
You know, to be successful in this league, you need to be able to do at least 2 things. You need to be able to defend your own try line, because the sport means that the opposition are going to have the ball, and at some point they're going to be near your try line. Castleford have just demonstrated that very well over the last few minutes. You also need players with speed who can score long-range efforts, because if you want to get to grand final and win it, you need some speed in your side. We've seen Youngquest go the length. We've just seen Joe Arundel do the same.
We've seen Kirk Dixon have another goal. We've seen Castleford winning 34-18. If it stays like this, the Tigers are on their way back to the top of the table. They've got some speed, they've got some pace, they've got some mongrel in them this year as well, haven't they?
They certainly have, and when you look at the Warrington outfit yesterday, the solid performance both in attack and defence, laid the platform for the 3 quarters to score, and that's virtually been the case here, though they've come up with it from the short kick-up. Daryl Millard's got the ball.
Setimata Sarr gives it to Ferriol. He then helps the ball inside to Battieri. He finds Duro, who gives it to Menzies. He hasn't given it up yet. Oh, just a little fumble from Farah. He managed to hang on, though. They're still in possession.
Did well under a real hit from Dean Withers.
Oh, that's a penalty. It was a high shot on Damien Blanche. Rangi Chase just losing his head a minute as Blanche nearly lost his. So here come the Dragons. They're not giving this up yet. There's still about 8 minutes left to go. Henderson finds Setemata Sarr. Back it goes to Greenshields. Greenshields gives it then to Millard. Again, the defence is outstanding.
Setemata Sarr's pass, or poor pass, is the reason that they haven't scored a try here. He's not a natural 6. I know he can pass the ball. He gave Clint Greenshields, had to adjust, take his time for that pass. That should have been his try. Catalan should have scored there.
That's why they got the penalty. It was right underneath the chin of Damien Blanche by Rangi Chase. They had the opportunity, but again, this great Castleford defence. They're doing what they did to Hull KR last week. They're shutting out the opposition in the second half. They're mean in the second half of their games, the Tigers.
And they've got a good understanding. No one's coming out of the line, though. They've coughed it up.
They have. That ball shot out on impact. The referee says play on. And Farah again goes to ground.
Oh, that could have been a flop. Rangi Chase came very late.
Well, they get the penalty anyway because there's hands in at the play of the ball. They're trying to slow the Dragons down. And they won't take their foot off the gas, not yet anyway. Here is Menzies. Menzies pops it up to Duro. Duro then finds Ragan. Ragan gives it back to Duro. They come wide with Millard. He tries to cut inside Arundel, but Arundel and Holmes, the two youngsters, bring him down. Stakul gives it to Duro again. Duro then to Battieri. Battieri to the big fella Casti. They're desperate not to... They've got another penalty.
I think it was a high shot as well.
They're desperate to give nothing away, Castleford, but this pressure is relentless just now. Menzies, back it goes. It's Farah.
Move! Discipline, come on!
Greenshields waits.
Go.
Greenshields, Duro, Battieri.
They got the
runner,
numbers.
it's Setemata Sarr. Wide, and they're in. Are they with Stakul? I think they are.
First tackle, Ben.
I'm going no try, Eddie. Very confident. First viewing, what's your call, Steve?
Well, I would say he got it down.
Well, I think Stakul should have gone lower.
Hey,
We'll have to wait and see. It is a try. Boy, he squeezed in.
Lost my first touch judge's exam.
Get back.
I've been practicing with the yellow flag all week. Got the wrong call.
To try for Cyril Stakul. That has been threatening actually since Arundel's try. They haven't given this up, the Catalan Dragons.
You know, it's a building period for them as well, Eddie. They got some very tough games coming up. 4 away games in the next five rounds. They can shift the ball around. Ball out wide. Getting the ball where it needs to go. It's a good finish in the end. Good effort by Castleford, but a strong finish by Stakul.
That's a very good point you make about the Catalan Dragons, Brian. 4 away games in the next 5. I mean, I'm no good on computers, but surely the computer for the rugby league fixtures should be sorted out. That's a wonderful kick, by the way, from Duro.
Great goal kick. You're right. It's going to be difficult for them, Eddie, but I haven't seen their fixtures further on in the season. But what it might mean is they get a run of home games, which will benefit them at some other stage in the year. But it's a difficult period. They have now got 6 minutes to go. So you see this final try, Duro involved again. Get the ball where it needs to be as soon as you possibly can. And a good finish in the corner. The flag and the defenders to deal with.
Tremendous finish in the corner. The problem that the Catalan Dragons have got is that there is no direct flight yet from Perpignan to this country. They've got to go via Barcelona, and then they've got to, that's a 2.5-hour coach ride. Then they've got to get on the plane and come over here.
Move!
It's a tough ask every other week, and it's going to happen more and more in the next month by the sound of things.
Well, they'll know how to deal with it after tonight. Not ideal preparation, but no excuse to not win a game.
Well, look, it's 10 points the difference, and there's 5 minutes to go. And the that's forward. They're not seen. That wasn't seen
at all. And it was. That's going to be a penalty. He shouted held.
Millard hit the deck. You're right. Stakul, Duro, Casti.
Test the arm. Strip over the top. Good break.
Setemata Sarr. He's knocked it forward.
Knock on. No advantage.
Down to Bill.
Eddie, Trent Robinson has been down on the sidelines from the word go here tonight. He's looking impassive, but he must know that 2 breakaway tries have cost his side. And you've got to remember those 2 bombed opportunities. Menzies and Damien Blanche, both with the line inviting them. Could have been a different story here tonight for the Dragons.
It certainly could. We said at the start, Brian, the Dragons are a work in progress for Trent Robinson.
They are. They showed us in parts today. Like I said, it seems to be rocks and diamonds. They showed us in parts. They're very, very good and entertaining to watch as well. They've got to tighten up the defence, would be something you'd say after tonight, and the discipline as well. The penalties and when they gave them away have really hurt them this 80 minutes.
Well, they haven't had a shutout in the second half, the Tigers, which will annoy them, but they won't bother that much, because if they hang on for this win, and they should with 3.5 to go and a 10-point advantage,
well, in this position,
they'll be
Eddie,
top of the table.
They've got the players out there to just control it, and he'll just trundle it up as he has done all night, Craig Hubie. Been a massive workload on that fella's shoulders tonight.
And this fellow, he's been impressive in this second half, Jake Emmett. He's carried the ball forward.
And this young kid, Daryl Clark, a dummy half, he really is building in confidence, showing plenty of style and skill.
Rangi Chase, I think he's been taken out off the ball. It's a penalty to the Castleford Tigers. Well, Scott Durow, I don't think he believes he has had the rub of the green from the referee tonight, because he's complained to him a few times about some of the decisions.
Well, Sebastian Ragan definitely made a move across.
Well, wouldn't they take the two that are on offer?
Oh, well, I would think so. Why not? No, they want more points.
Because Emmett will drive it in.
Move!
I think Terry Matteson sent the message out. Take the two.
Go.
Clark.
He's short.
Lost. That
He's
ball was
short.
lost, I think.
Well, it would have really capped up a fine display. I think he's trying to tell everybody.
Is that a stab at it?
I think it's just short.
It will be a second try if it's given, but it could be a knock-on. Or was it knocked out by one of the defenders?
It's been a wonderful effort.
Ooh.
Ooh, maybe it has made it. Frame by frame, I think this might be given.
Didn't look at it, did it? Didn't look like it first view.
But from that angle, you've got to say, hey, mate, come on.
Benefit.
Ben Thaler.
Battieri, I think, came to the rescue. I think it was short, you know, but Ben Thaler's the man who's got the nod or the shake of the head, and it's a shake of the head.
A bigger shake of the head from this fella, Craig Hubie.
Waiting.
You know, when Castleford were going through a shaky period, they brought Fozzard on, and the two of them, Hubie and Fozzard, just settle things down. Let's roll up the sleeves, get through some hard work, and they've laid the platform for this wonderful victory. And Terry Matteson should feel extremely proud. He's got a good squad here. He's doing a fine job.
He is, and they are going to be 100%. Young Quest's done it again. 100% at the end of round 4 for them. They'll have a game in hand.
What about that? You know, a beautiful tackle by Steve Menzies, and he just tapped him on the back and said, well done, young Quest.
Mathers.
Great servant to our game, isn't he, Steve Menzies? Not only at the latter part of his career in this country, but he's a hero, a legend in Manly, down in Australia.
Oh,
it's intercept.
Durow. Pinch that.
Hold on.
Last chance for something for Catalan Dragons, but Scott Durow is hurt.
You know, reading in the notes before this game, I think we've said that Catalan Dragons have had 9 debutants this season, 9 new players who haven't played for the club before, and I think they look that way, Eddie.
Oh, look, here comes Steve Menzies, making great progress. Gets the ball wide to Farah.
I think it's come off a Castleford arm. I think you'll find that it's Catalan will get the head and feed.
It is.
Hand up. Knocks it down.
Menzies made some great ground then.
Hands are up, mate.
Well, Menzies was trying to indicate, trying at least to ask Damien Blanche, one of the two that was outside, to come back on the inside just to confuse the defence, and they both stayed out. They're looking to get away with it. They've got head and feed. Scott Durow is a little bit shaky, but he'll be feeding the scrum.
One shot now, one shot.
Well, they've worked hard, the Dragons, haven't they?
Wait.
Penalise them if they can't pack a scrum.
Blindside move, blindside move, maybe.
Heads in. Time on, out.
No.
Setimata Sarr gets the ball infield, and this is Millard.
Move!
The last throw of the dice for the Catalan Dragons. Sarr again. Ferriol, flicked pass. Henderson, flicked pass to Sarr. Setimata Sarr taking the responsibility on his own shoulders again.
And hold! Goal.
Henderson escapes one tackle. Oof! That was a bit of a swipe from Brett Ferris. Last 25 seconds. Deroe bullocks the pass wide. Oh, it's put down, was it, by Youngquest? He got the hand in it.
It went for an intercept. But he knows he's won it now.
He does.
We're going to pack the scrum here. We have one more shot.
Time off.
5 seconds remaining.
You'd like to see them score again. They don't deserve to win the game, but you'd certainly like to see them cross the line again.
Let's go, lads, come on.
And they're capable of doing it. Now, Will Menzies, it looks like Menzies is going to go into a prop position. I thought maybe he might come into loose
We can't
forward.
form a scrum again. It's ridiculous that the referee has to encourage a side out to get 6 players to form a scrum. Penalise them.
Heads in. Get in there, come on.
Well, that was a
Let's
shambles.
sort it out. Let's get our heads in.
Penalise them. If you can't do it a second time, sin bin the captain. That's my new rule in rugby league.
Sin bin him for 5 minutes.
Well, has he called time on yet?
Time on.
No, he has. Here is Setimata Sarr. This is Sebastian Ragan. He'll hoof it wide to Damien Blanche. The ball goes into touch, and Castleford win and go back to the top of the table tonight. Played 4-1-4 down here at the Coliseum.
Well, an entertaining game, I must say. Both sides eager to keep the ball alive, and they were running out of steam. It was just a matter of if you got anywhere near the line, you had the opportunity to score the try. But you go down to 2 issues. Catalan had 2 tries bombed, and Castleford 2 long-range efforts that changed the game in the second half.
Absolutely, that's